No way.
I did this video, bro. Oh shit, bro. Oh my god, I have to see this shit, bro. Oh my god. Bro, just record this. Oh my god. Bro, does she want me to like go up there?
The actual like.
Oh my god, bro.
Not the.
Dude, my voice, bro.
To Puerto Rico.
Oh my god, bro. Look at that voice, bro. It's so annoying.
Hi guys, Lennox here. Today
Ew,
we're
dude.
going to be talking
It's so
about
loud.
Rocky Yee. Yee.
Dude, that's so loud, bro. Oh my god.
No, it's working. It's just there's no audio.
It's so loud, bro.
Rodney Yee was born on March 1st, 1957 at Altus, Oklahoma, United States. A very small town. Oklahoma City is about 2-3 hours away. He's of Chinese-American descent. His daddy was an Air Force colonel, which means he regularly spent time in his childhood going from one base in Oklahoma to another base in Puerto Rico. Afterwards, his family settled in Oakland, California. He excelled at gymnastics at high school and later became a very talented ballet dancer with the Oakland Ballet Company, the Midsummer Mozart Festival, and the Matsuyama Ballet Company, located in Tokyo, Japan. While attending UC Berkeley in Berkeley, California, he studied philosophy and physical therapy. He, however, dropped out of college to pursue ballet full-time. While attending UC Berkeley, he found himself interested in Iyengar Yoga. Iyengar Yoga is a very precision and self-control type of yoga that also utilizes a lot of props like blocks and stuff. He originally began to use yoga as a way to help him balance himself during dances, just to give him a little more support. However, he began to spread his wings and dive more further into the yoga rabbit hole and began to find it as another form of therapy for himself. After studying multiple yoga instructors, most notably Ramanand Patel, he began to teach himself and eventually began his yoga teachings at a yoga studio, straightforwardly called the Yoga Room in Berkeley, California, which then in turn, by the age of 30, founded the Pidama Yoga Studio in 1987 with his wife, Diana Phan. Rodney Yee was a very big on internal exploration. He wanted his students to follow by their own bodies and by their own rules instead of being arrogant and opinionated on their own yoga journey.
Mom! Mommy! Mommy!
By the 1990s, Yee became one of the more recognizable yoga instructors across the nation. Being a regular feature on the Yoga Journal magazines, being featured on yoga instructional videos, as well as the Power Yoga videos, he has narrated on many yoga audio files and also has written 2 books. Unfortunately, none of this can go unnoticed without a little controversy. I don't know why a lot of people like to do this, but when you have a lot of notable power in any form of art, you can either use that power for good or evil. Rodney Yee decided to follow the latter and found himself in some very, very avoidable and very unnecessary controversy. In 2002, Rodney Yee's wife, Donna Pham, who he founded a successful yoga studio with, divorced with one another after 24 years of marriage. A big reason was due to Susanna Bruder, a student under the teachings of Yee, came out and said that Yee was engaging in sexual relations with a few of his students. Eventually, 2 unnamed students came out and claimed that they engaged in affairs with Mr. Yee. Another student by the name of Athena Papaz also came out and wrote on a blog article back in 2002 stating, "I became involved with Rodney when I was emotionally and physically very vulnerable and sought his help as my teacher." One of the students, Colleen Satman, a former model, who was one of his other students that he was engaging in sexual relationships with, eventually became engaged with him and they married in December of 2006 and are still together to this day. Past 18 years together. And currently live in the Hamptons, which are those small towns and villages in Long Island, New York. Since dating your students in the yoga world is considered a sin, or I mean in any world in general it's considered pretty bad, this led to a lot of the yoga community turning on him. It also shows the loyalty you have for somebody that you love. Having faith in your lover seems like it's taking a backseat to what you stand for in your love, if that made any sense. Rodney Yee's influence in the yoga world helped make yoga a little more mainstream than what it was before. They brought yoga onto DVDs, which then those DVDs were played at homes across American homes. This helped introduce the United States to yoga in a very comforting way. Though the last part about him doing some like R. Kelly stuff to students is obviously kind of wild, he definitely introduced a lot of Americans to the fundamentals of yoga and brought it onto the American limelight. Because his yoga practices were very digestible and accessible, since it was calm, friendly, atmospheric, and very comforting, it made people enjoy yoga. Ronnie Yi has teeth for people like Demi Moore, who's an actress, Donna Karen, who's a fashion designer, and even had Oprah Winfrey gushing over his videos in the 90s. Nowadays, it looks like he's just enjoying life. Checking by his Instagram, it seems like his journeys, are doing pretty good for himself, and it looks like he travels the world a lot, which is kind of crazy. Did not know that yoga could generate this type of money. Anyways, that's it. Bye.
Point of clarification, none of those who accused him were underage. It's a little different from R. Kelly. Legal age of
That's my bad.
consent. Let's make sure that we make that clear.
That's my bad.